Eliashib, the high priest, was son-in-law to Sanballat the Horonite. Therefore I chased him from me. Remember them, O my power, because they have defiled the priesthood and the covenant of the priesthood and of the Levites. Thus cleansed I them from all strangers, and appointed the wards of the priests and the Levites, every one in his business, and for the wood offering, and at times appointed, and for the first fruits. Remember me, O my power, for good. So, this is what happens. This is a little bit of our story. Most I say we're supposed to be dealing with these other nations. Let's look at 1 Kings again, 11th chapter. We're going to be looking at this. 1 Kings 11th chapter. And verse 2 again. Of the nations concerning which the Most High said unto the children of Israel, who are they? Egyptians, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Edomites, the Zidonians, and Hittites, Hamites, Chinese, Japanese, so-called white people. Ye shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you, for surely they will turn away your heart after their idols. Solomon clave unto these in love, and he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart. Who's these wives that turn away his heart? These other nations. These wives of these other nations. For it came to pass when Solomon was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other idols. And his heart was not perfect with the Most High his power, as was the heart of David his father. For Solomon went after Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians, who represents Semiramis, the same Semiramis that they celebrate when they honoring the Black Madonna and her son Nimrod or Tammuz. People think that's Mashiach Yahushua and Mary. No. And she come in many forms. Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. See all these different idols that these nations were honoring and worshiping, because all the gods of the nations are idols. And Solomon did evil in the sight of the Most High, and went not fully after the Most High, as did David his father. He didn't follow King David, you know. He was dealing with Molech and all that. Then did Solomon build an high place for Shamash, the abomination of Moab, the idol for the Chinese, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. That's the god they worship, Molech. And the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua was angry with Solomon, because his heart was turned from the Most High, while Mashiach Yahushua of Israel, power of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other idols, but he kept not that which the Most High commanded. He didn't follow his laws and commandments. Wherefore the Most High said unto Solomon, for as much as this is done of thee, and thou hast not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I have commanded thee, I will surely rend the kingdom from thee, and will give it to thy servant. So I'm going to take it away from him, and give it to his son. Notwithstanding, in thy days I will not do it, for David, thy father's sake. But I will rend it out of the hand of thy sons. I'm going to do it to your son. Rehoboam. Rehoboam was King Solomon's son. Howbeit, I will not rend it away all the kingdom, but will give one tribe to thy son, for for David my servant's sake. Most I love David. And for Jerusalem's sake, which I have chosen. See? That's the city that he chose. And the Most High stirred up an adversary unto Solomon, Hadad the Edomite. He was of the king's seed in Edom. For it came to pass, when David was in Edom, and Joab, the captain of the host, was gone up to bury the slain, after he had smitten every male in Edom, for 6 months did Joab remain there with all Israel, until he had cut off every male in Edom. Then Hadad fled, he and certain Edomites of his father's servants with him, to go into Egypt. Hadad being yet a little child, so he was a little child at this time. And they arose out of Midian and came to Paran, and they took men with them out of Paran, and they came to Egypt, unto Pharaoh, king of Egypt, which gave him a house and appointed him victuals and gave him land. And Hadad found great favor in the sight of Pharaoh, so that he gave him to wife the sister of his own wife, the sister of Tahpenes, the queen. And the sister of Tahpenes bare him Genubath, his son. And the sister of Tahpenes bare him Genubath, his son, whom Tahpenes weaned in Pharaoh's house. First, had the baby weaned in Pharaoh's house. And Genubath was in Pharaoh's household among the sons of Pharaoh. And when Hadad heard in Egypt that David slept with his fathers, and that Joab, the captain of the host, was dead, Hadad said to Pharaoh, let me depart, that I may go to mine own country. Then Pharaoh said unto him, but what hast thou lacked with me? That behold, thou seekest to go to thine own country? And he answered, nothing. Howbeit, let me go in any wise. Said, still let me go. So I ain't lacked anything. I still want to go. And the Most High, while my Shekhah stirred him up, another adversary, Rezon, the son of Eladah, which fled from his lord Hadadezer, king of Zobah. And he gathered men unto him, and became captain over a band, which is an army, when David slew them at Zobah. And they went to Damascus, and dwelt therein, and reigned in Damascus. And he was an adversary to Israel all the days of Solomon, beside the mischief that Hadad did. And he abhorred Israel. He hated Israel, and reigned over Syria. And Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, an Ephrathite of Zerida, Solomon's servant, whose mother's name was Zeruiah, a widow woman, even he lifted up his hand against the king. And this was the cause that he lifted up his hand against the king. Solomon built Millo, and repaired the breaches of the city of David his father. And the man Jeroboam was a mighty man of valor. And Solomon, seeing the young man that he was industrious, he made him ruler over all the charge of the house of Joseph. It came to pass at that time, when Jeroboam went out of Jerusalem, that the prophet Ahijah, the Shilonite, found him in the way, and he had clothed himself with a new garment, and they two were alone in the field. So he got a new garment on. Just these two was in the field. Ahijah caught the new garment that was on him and rent it in 12 pieces. Towards garment in 12 pieces. And he said to Jeroboam, thus said the Most High, power of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. So this is Jeroboam, who is over the house of Joseph, which represents the Ephraimites, or who would represent the so-called Puerto Ricans today. So he said, I'm going to give you 10 to Jeroboam. Verse 31, and he said to Jeroboam, take thee 10 pieces, for thus said the Most High, power of Israel, behold, I will rend the kingdom out of the hand of Solomon, and will give 10 tribes to thee. But he shall have 1 tribe for my servant David's sake, and for Jerusalem's sake, the city which I have chosen out of all the tribes of Israel, because that they have forsaken me, and have worshipped Ashtoreth, the goddess of the Zidonians, Shemosh, the god of the Moabites, and Milcom, the god of the children of Ammon, and have not walked in my ways, to do that which is right in mine eyes, and to keep my statutes and my judgments, as did David his father. Howbeit, I will not take the whole kingdom out of his hand, but I will make him prince all the days of his life, for David my servant's sake, whom I chose, because he kept my commandments and my statutes. But I will take the kingdom out of his son's hand, out of Solomon's son's hand, and will give it unto thee, even 10 tribes. That's what he's telling Jeroboam. Unto his son will I give 1 tribe, that David my servant may have a light always before me in Jerusalem, the city which I have chosen me to put my name therein. And I will take thee, and thou shalt reign according to all that thy soul desire, and shalt be king over Israel. That's northern Israel, not southern Israel, which is called the land of Judah. And it shall be, if thou wilt hearken, meaning listen unto all that I command thee, and will walk in my ways, and do that is right in my sight, to keep my statutes and my commandments, as David my servant did, that I will be with thee, and build thee a sure house, as I built for David, and will give Israel unto thee. And I will, for this afflict the seed of David, but not forever. But I will, for this, afflict the seed of David, represents Judah, but not forever. Solomon sought therefore to kill Jeroboam, and Jeroboam arose and fled into Egypt. Also Shishak, king of Egypt, and was in Egypt until the death of Solomon. And the rest of the acts of Solomon, and all that he did, and his wisdom, are they not written in the book of the Acts of Solomon? So that's a book, the book of the Acts of Solomon. And the time that Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all Israel was 40 years. And Solomon slept with his fathers, and was buried in the city of David his father. And Rehoboam, his son, reigned in his stead. So I just want to go back to the fact that it says, in verse 41, and the rest of the acts of Solomon, and all that he did, and his wisdom, are they not written in the book of the Acts of Solomon? So these books of the Acts of Solomon, you go into the books that right now, how do you know it's an original book? Because it's like a lot of these books, they have different authors. They're published by different companies, they're published, but I think the Most High, for what he wants us to know, is enough here. You know, otherwise, the Most High don't have the power to be able to make sure that that book, whatever books that, you know, they say they're taken out of the Bible, we have, so that we have this. I mean, I just say that because it seemed like Brother was saying last night, our brother be going into the book of Jubilee and just, you know, like making that be the gospel of the Most High, his word, when you don't really know the whole word of the Bible. You ain't got this all the way down. You see, you go on these other books, and you don't, you know, what are you going to compare it to if you don't really know all the things that the Bible is saying, pretty much? You know what I mean? You have to look at it how it coincides with the word, and some certain things, you know, look at, brother, we talking about the book of Enoch. But your book of Enoch might not be the same author as my book of Enoch. You know what I mean? Have different words, different, just like the Bibles are different. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? The Bibles are different. We got the King James 16 Authorized Bible. It's different than this Bible. This the original King James 1611 Bible, translated, out of original tongues and so forth. But it's not. It's different than this. You see what I'm saying? As far as you have to learn how to read this. So now they're gonna make it easy for you. So, and it tells you who's publishing it. We're not publishing these Bibles. It tells you in Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter, the 7th verse.
They even got different apocryphals.
Huh?
They even got different apocryphals.
Yeah, right. Different apocryphals, right. Wisdom of Solomon 5 and 7. It says, this is when we reach the salvation. This is what they're going to be saying. The same ones that's writing and publishing these books. We rid ourselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. That's what they're doing, wearing themselves in the way of wickedness and destruction. Yeah, we have gone through deserts where there lay no way. But as for the way of the Most High, the Mashiach Yahushua, we have not known it. All of a sudden they know it. They publish these books and say the author is by who? So-called white man. They say the way of the Most High, we have not known it. The author of this book is who? The Most High. The Spirit of the Most High. How are you going to tell me that the Most High don't have the power to say, okay, once we go to Kings, we're going to put the Acts of Solomon. The Acts of Solomon. Right next to it. But we can go into all these books, that's why it tells you. Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes, the 12th chapter. Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. 12 and 12. It says, and further, Ecclesiastes 12 and 12. And further by these, my son, be admonished. Of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. Isaiah 34 and 16. To seek ye out of the book of the Most High and read. See that? It says seek ye out of this Bible and read. No one of these shall fail. None of these prophecies here in this Bible shall fail. None shall want her mate. You can't match any book with this Bible. For my mouth it hath commanded, and his spirit it hath gathered them. So, Mashiach Yahushua is the word of the Most High, and the Spirit of the Most High has gathered these words to give to the prophets and apostles to write these books that we have here in the Bible. So, but you can't match any book with this Bible. Unless you come up with all kind of madness. Because you following the way of the heathen. It's enough here in this Bible to learn what we need to learn to be able to be redeemed from this wicked land that we're in, or the lands that we are in, all the different lands. So that's a little bit on King Solomon. Are there any questions?
Presentation mode is on. Only organizers can be heard. Conversation mode is on. Everyone can now be heard.
Are there any questions or comments? All right. that's the case, then are there any tithes, any offerings, and donations